A natural gas explosion at the city hospital prompted a total evacuation of the facility. The cause of the explosion is still undetermined.
The fire caused by a patient's discarded cigarette resulted in 2 fatalities.
Firefighters responded to a 2-alarm fire caused by malfunctioning laser equipment in the hospital's surgical area.
Analysis of the fire indicated proper and fast action by staff saved lives and limited damage.
Fire emergencies are one of the most serious situations that may occur at a healthcare facility. As an employee, it's your responsibility to be familiar with your institution's fire protection plan. The plan will describe the components of the building's fire protection system, as well as your responsibilities in case a fire does occur.
Periodic fire drills are required to assure everyone is aware of their responsibility in case of a fire. A good way to remember your actions in case of a fire is to think of RACE: remove, alarm, contain, and extinguish. If a fire occurs, remove all employees and patients from the immediate area. Sound the alarm. Contain the fire as much as possible by closing room doors. Fire doors will automatically close. And extinguish, only if the fire is small and confined. Healthcare facilities do have potential fire hazards. It's important to be aware of these hazards and take the necessary precautions. Fires caused by smoking or smoking materials account for the largest percentage of fires in healthcare facilities and are the leading cause of civilian deaths and injuries. Never allow anyone to smoke near oxygen equipment. Do not allow a patient or client to smoke unsupervised if he is confused or has taken medications. Empty ashtrays only when the ashes are completely cool. One of the most volatile hazards is any time there's an oxygen-rich environment. Examples of oxygen-rich atmospheres include surgery, patient areas with incoming oxygen in use, and oxygen storage areas. Any equipment used in a room where oxygen is in use should be approved for use in an oxygen-enriched atmosphere. Malfunctioning electrical equipment can also result in a fire. Your facility will have specific policies and procedures to evaluate each piece of electric equipment. Any equipment that is damaged or in questionable condition should be immediately removed from service. Follow your institution's procedures for tagging and reporting defective equipment. The building itself provides another level of fire protection.
Well, I really think the corridors or the structure integrity of a healthcare facility is very important. First of all, it's the idea of defending in place when we deal with a healthcare facility, to be able to understand that you need to keep people in place. They can't move as easily as we can maybe in a public assembly building. So the structure of the corridor as it's built is very important, and people need to recognize that the corridor is built of a certain material, the doors are of a certain strength. So all those things add together for that theory of defending in place.
In addition to safety factors within the building construction, your facility may have a combination of the following devices: smoke or heat detectors, sprinklers, fire alarm pull stations, fire hose cabinets, and fire extinguishers.
Smoke or heat detectors may be placed throughout your facility to alert you to fire in its earliest stages. These detectors will sound the alarm when there is smoke or heat in the immediate area. To function properly, these detectors must be checked at regular intervals and properly maintained. Sprinkler systems are activated by heat as opposed to smoke. They will activate only in the immediate area, not in the entire facility. Sprinkler systems must also be checked at regular intervals and properly maintained. Fire alarm pull stations are located throughout your facility. It is important to know where these fire alarms are in your immediate work area, as well as throughout the building. When the alarm is pulled, this will immediately notify and dispatch the fire department. Every facility will have a central alarm receiving panel. Fire department personnel will use this panel to identify the exact location of the fire. Most of the fire extinguishers located in your facility will be the multi-purpose, or more commonly called, ABC extinguisher. Now this just simply means that you can use them on any type of fire. A standpipe hose system may also be available. However, you should only operate them if you've been properly trained. Know where your fire extinguishers are located in your facility and periodically practice on how to use them.
The operation of a fire extinguisher is relatively simple, provided that you remember the acronym PASS, P-A-S-S. Each letter stands for an action that needs to be taken in order to safely and effectively operate the fire extinguisher. The letter P stands for pull the pin. The pin is kept in the handle of the extinguisher, and its purpose is to prevent you from accidentally squeezing the handle. Therefore, if you forget to pull the pin out, you cannot extinguish the fire with the extinguisher. The letter A stands for aim the nozzle. The nozzle is either a flexible nozzle or a rigid nozzle, and the nozzle needs to be aimed at the base of the fire because that's where the burning is taking place. The letter S stands for squeeze the handle. By squeezing the handle in the extinguisher, you are causing the pressure in the canister to decrease, and therefore the chemical is taken from the canister and discharged out the nozzle. The second letter S stands for sweep side to side. What you want to try to do is cover the entire fire area from the left side to the right side and back and forth in a rapid motion. It is important to start the extinguisher about 10 feet back from the fire because the fire extinguisher is stored under pressure. If you get too close to the fire, there is a possibility that the fire can flare up and spread because you are too close. By remembering the acronym PASS, P-A-S-S, pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep side to side, you can safely and efficiently extinguish a fire.
Fire extinguishers should only be used if the fire is small and confined, and if you can fight the fire with your back to a safe escape route. After the fire extinguisher is used, make sure that it is recharged by a factory representative.
If the fire is too large to approach safely with a fire extinguisher, it may be necessary to further evacuate patients. Now, this should be done quickly and safely using the simplest procedures possible. So it's important that all employees practice a variety of ways to remove patients from the area.
Side-by-side assist. The side-by-side assist technique is used to quickly move ambulatory patients who need minimum assistance. Lift one arm over your shoulder, then reach around the back to grasp the other forearm. Remember to lift with your legs. Support the patient firmly against your shoulder as you assist them to a safe area. Blanket drag or knee drop. The blanket drag is another way to move non-ambulatory patients. Position the patient as close to the edge of the bed as possible. Cross the arms over the chest and adjust the bed to its lowest position. Place one knee close to the bed for supporting the head and shoulders. Slide one arm under the patient's neck, grasping the far shoulder, and the other arm under the knees. Pull toward you, allowing the lower body to move off the edge first. Then carefully guide the patient's shoulders and head onto the blanket. Use the blanket to quickly move the patient out of the room. The blanket drag technique may require 2 or more carriers for larger patients. The swing carry is a 2-carrier technique used to walk through hallways or downstairs where there is adequate space. Lift the patient's arms over your shoulders and grasp each other's forearms behind the back. Then reach under the patient's knees. On 3, lean toward the patient and stand up. Support the patient's weight between your shoulders and lower arms and walk calmly. The extremity carry is another 2-carrier technique. It facilitates rapid transport through narrow passageways. While sitting beside the patient, one carrier locks her arms around the patient's chest. A second carrier positions himself between the patient's legs and encircles them securely. On 3, step away from the bed. Hug the patient tightly and walk at an even pace as you proceed. To unload the patient, try to use a wall for support. Both carriers drop to one knee and carefully lower the patient to the floor.
Fortunately, fire emergencies do not occur frequently in healthcare institutions. However, if a fire does occur, it is your responsibility to know exactly how to respond. Know your fire safety plan. Know the locations of the fire alarm pull stations. Know the location of fire extinguishers and how to use them. Remember RACE. And periodically practice evacuation carries. In a fire emergency, you must act promptly and make a rapid assessment of the situation. Being prepared will help you. Remain calm and exercise the good judgment needed to prevent injuries and assure the safety of the patients, staff, and visitors.